Okay, that is really blurry. Sorry about that. I'm gonna see what I can do to get it to focus. If I switch it. Ha! That worked. Okay. We are live for day 4 of Inktober. Yay! There we go. And I am all set up and ready for today's live broadcast. Okie doke. So today's inspiration is from Isaiah 9:10. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. I was originally going with a different verse for this image, but as I started drawing it, I don't know, this one seemed to be more appropriate. It seemed to fit it better, so. All right, let's do this. Ah, okay. Sorry, my hand isn't as steady as I could wish. So I've already gone over my lines here. And for those who are my patrons, I actually did go ahead and record today's drawing in time lapse. So as soon as I can get that edited and put together, I will be posting that on my patrons page for anybody the $5 tier and above, for exclusive behind the scenes content. Hi, Autumn Sensei. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Shame on it. Oh no. That'll be okay. I can fix that. Okay. So I'm just outlining right now with my pen. Had a lot of ink just bloop out, so I'm gonna spread that out a little bit. But once I'm done outlining, I'll go in with my my brush and fill in my dark areas. I'm having issues today. Well, happy weekend, Autumn. Doing pretty good. I spent, well, let's see, what did I do today? I worked on a commission for somebody. reconfirmed my dislike of working in acrylics, but a job's a job, and I'm happy to have a job. So that was good. And I'm doing this, and I spent some of the day cleaning. Overall, uneventful. How are you? It is seeking vengeance. It does that to me sometimes. It's not always nice. Usually, it's my friends, though. Okay. Ah! Oh, goodness. I am having issues today. Yeah, I often struggle to fall asleep too, and I have a really messed up sleep schedule. Monday, I'm gonna have to actually get up at a regular person's schedule because I'm babysitting, but currently I'm on a late night, late morning sort of schedule, which is the most natural for me. So, Autumn, I know you have your Twitch channel. Do you ever find it weird having conversations with what it feels like yourself, even though you're getting chat comments? You're basically monologuing. It's a regular person's schedule. I don't know. I figure a regular person's schedule is usually going to bed before midnight and getting up before 9. But what do I know about a regular person? I'm not a regular person. Never will be. Never have been. My pen does not like me today. Yeah, well, I work. Well, I work when I feel like it at the moment, which is really lovely. Hopefully, I keep getting commissions and I can keep working when I want. But they talk about a 9 to 5 sort of job, and I think that's a regular person's schedule. Tad jealous. Well, yeah, I have to say I'm really loving doing this. Not to a point where I'm self-sufficient yet, so that's a bit stressful. That's why I'm pushing my Patreon page a lot and trying to get more subscribers here on my YouTube channel, so that I can keep doing this and not have to go back to a regular job, because I don't work well in a regular job. Don't think I'll ever fit in one. So at the moment, I'm living the dream, even though I'm not making money off of it yet. And I should be publishing my book. I have a tentatively, I will say it's going to be published in November. I've gotten way behind my schedule. I was hoping to publish it this month, but that's not going to happen. I still have too much left to do on it. But yeah, you guys should totally buy my book when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. Thanks. I appreciate the vote of confidence. It's getting there. I'd say I have a little over half of my book penciled and ready for inks. It's the figuring out what's happening with the second half of my book and making sure that all works that I'm struggling with at the moment. But I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to be self-publishing through Amazon, and I will keep everybody in the loop on how I'm doing with that. I beat you to it, Autumn. Yeah, I'm self-publishing through Amazon. So I get to do all of my marketing and cold calling. Yay, my favorite. But I also don't have to deal with publishers and people telling me it's not good enough. So I can publish it whether it's good enough or not. Okay, streaming Dark Side. I'm having a hard time reading my little chat stream. I don't know why. It's maybe further away from me than it should be or something. Yeah, I'm still figuring out how to do live stream, but I'm kind of pleased with it so far, except for the couple days that well, the second day, I guess, was the day that the technology was not my friend, and I kept losing the stream. But yesterday went pretty well, so that's hopeful. I do not know how much my book will cost yet. I still need to look into Amazon's publishing costs and what they take off the top before I'll know actually how much it'll sell for. And I haven't gotten to that spot yet. Though suppose I should. I've had people asking me recently. I have a laptop. I would like to combine someday and have a laptop and a desktop monitor so I can have the bigger screen. But at the moment, you know, limited resources and all that. I would also like a computer with a lot more processing power as I'm getting more into doing videos and stuff. Premiere Pro does work on my computer, but there are some days that my computer does not like it and fights back. So it would be nice to have something that can handle Premiere Pro and Photoshop without having to be restarted every once in a while like that. Alright. My star here is almost finished. Now, one thing I haven't done on the other days yet is go back in and erase my pencil marks. I do that after every ink drawing usually, but it also requires the ink to dry, and there's no point in you guys watching ink dry, kind of like waiting for a pot to boil, so I've been doing that part off camera. Okay, I'm going to switch to my brush here. I don't use special erasers. I really like your very basic, what is it? Staedtler Mars plastic. In fact, I bought a huge package of them. And this is what I use to erase usually. I like them because they're hard enough that they do a good job without making too much of a mess. Softer erasers tend to make a bigger mess. Yeah, it's a big package, but I figured I'd be using it a lot for my book, and therefore might as well just buy a bunch of them. Cheaper that way too, in the end. Yeah, I one of the biggest reasons I chose to self-publish was because of not having to put up any costs ahead of time. I like that Amazon does the print on demand, and so you don't have to actually put down money and hope that you get enough back. And I know the quality isn't necessarily as good, but I've seen other self-publishing companies and I haven't been impressed, and I think Amazon actually does it best. Could be wrong on that, but it's also a nice and simplified way of doing it because it's Amazon and everybody shops on Amazon, or at least so it seems. Yeah, I seem to be odd in the fact that I prefer traditional to digital. I do think digital is kind of fun, but I tend to, I don't know, it doesn't have the same quality to it for me. I like the physicality of drawing and painting, coming away with dirty fingers and everything. And I don't know, I know that digitally they've done a lot to make it so it's similar, it has similar texture, etc. But it just doesn't do it for me. Although that said, digital can be a lot of fun. Just not my preferred medium, and I get really buggy-eyed if I spend too long in front of the TV. Well, my computer is my TV, but if I spend too long in front of the computer, and I don't get that same feeling when I'm working traditionally. Yeah, I think it depends on the publisher. I just honestly don't feel like trying to get it past the slush pile. Maybe that's lazy of me, I don't know. I just want to get it published, and I don't want to spend all the time trying to get somebody to accept it. And since I doing all of it, the writing, illustrating, lettering, inking, everything, it's easier not to deal with it. Jump through their hoops. Yeah, I don't know what the best answer really is. Um, I guess we'll see how self-publishing on Amazon treats me and see where I go from there. But yeah, I think most need an agent, and that's just yet another thing to try and deal with. I might change my tune once I self-publish and see if anybody actually buys my book. You know, I don't often watch myself draw, and these past couple days of Inktober have been kind of fun because I have I have it up on my screen on my computer so I can see what you guys are seeing and also see the chat and stuff, and it's kind of fun to glance up and see what you guys are seeing rather than from my perspective. I love the depth of color that you can get with black ink. Now the stuff I'm working with is a little thin, but that'll change as I work with it and it starts evaporating a little bit. But you can just get this deep inky quality. Well, ink. I didn't think about that until I started talking. But yeah, they talk about inky darkness, and I just love the depth of it. It's awesome. Yes, I'm a dork. I geek out about the depth of black that you can get. That's actually something funny. When I was younger, I remember having this discussion with my sisters, and I remember telling them that my favorite color was black, and that it wasn't just black though, but black was my favorite color. And they kind of looked at me funny and they said, black is black. And I said, no, there's a difference. There's lighter black and there's darker black. And and black is my favorite color. And it was kind of an ongoing discussion for a while. And I feel a little vindicated because there is definitely a difference between the blacks. And there's a dark, true black, and there are lighter blacks that aren't quite gray yet. So there's your funny anecdote for the night. Organizing a pic is a pain. Like taking a picture, or like organizing the composition of a picture. Oh, PC. I'm sorry. I saw PIC. Personal computer. Yes. I know what a PC is. I just didn't read it right. You know, it might help if I actually zoomed in my screen a little bit. Or just moved my computer closer. But That seems too logical, too easy. Gotta do things the difficult way sometimes, right? No, I wouldn't say there's an easy way of cleaning up a PC. Maybe there is, and I just don't know of it. It always takes me a long time to do that. I actually bought an external drive the other day to start storing my photos on because I have a huge reference library that I've been building of photographs on my computer, and it's getting to the point where if it keeps growing, which it will, they need to be separate because they're going to take up all the space on my computer. This summer, I was in San Diego with my best friend, and we took a trip to the Maritime Museum, and we were there 2 years ago as well. But this time, quick preface is that my book is all about seafaring foxes, right? So I needed a lot of reference photos of ships and ship accoutrement and all of that. And so on our second trip to the Maritime Museum, she had her nice DSLR and I had my little fancy digital, and we spent a couple hours just taking the weirdest pictures because I needed them for my reference library. So close-ups of ropes and details of sails and what they look like up close. Actually, did you know that sails have some of the coolest stitching? And it's not for looks, it's for strength of the sail, but it's really neat looking, and I bet you most people don't notice it because they're not taking reference photos. But yeah, we felt a little silly taking pictures of the most mundane things, but that's what you need for your reference library because you never know what you'll need to look up, and most likely you won't find exactly what you're looking for online. Did you say your last cat killed yours? That's not a good thing. Yeah, my cats definitely like playing sabotage, but it's not usually with my computer. Although Athena does like climbing across the keys, and sometimes she'll do it when I'm not around, and I'll come back, and there are all sorts of odd commands up on my computer. You know, she changes the shortcut keys, and I never know what she's going to change. I think she's secretly knows more about computers than I do, and she's just trying to sabotage me. And Sif will try and sit on my lap when I'm drawing, and especially when I'm inking, she likes to try and knock over the ink bottle. You know, I've considered selling things on stock photos. I've considered it. I should consider it again. I don't know why I didn't go through with it. Don't remember, but I did momentarily look into the possibility. And I think that would be a great idea. I would, of course, only be able to sell mine unless my best friend would want me to sell hers for her and then share the profits with her or something. Hers takes better photos because it's a nice DSLR. Mine can zoom in a whole lot farther than her camera, because it's not a DSLR, so you don't have to have the fancy attachments. But in the end, the quality of her photos are usually better. Oh, thanks, Elsie. I'm glad you're here. Took me just a second to realize that somebody else had commented. Yeah, I don't know. Can you guys see each other's comments? I will take that as yes. Okay, let's see what's next. I suppose I should have that going through the moon and have the moon in the background, huh? Clean up my lines in a minute. I know it's live chat. My dad was having issues seeing everybody else's comments the other day, so I was wondering if it was only showing up on mine or not. Well, here, what do you guys think? I have it penciled over. So I have the ray of light coming over my mountains here. And I was thinking of just having the star behind it, but it might be kind of fun having the light actually spread out over my mountains. And I want to know what you guys think. What should I do? You're here to learn? Okay. I hope I'm doing a good job then. I'm thinking most of my mountain will probably be black since it's a night scene, so I'm thinking I will make the ray of light cross it. We'll see once I get some more of these details in. This is fun. It's the most conversation I've had on here. An uneducated opinion. You don't have to have studied art to have good instincts and opinions, though. Sometimes it's even better not to be, I don't know, weighed down by all of the other thoughts that you learn in school. And pretty soon you're over-analyzing and over-deciding or something. You pulled a blonde moment for 2 weeks? That's pretty impressive. What did you do? It's nice having more of an interaction. I've had fewer people able to tune in on the other days. And so this is kind of fun having the interaction. Not monologuing as much. Okay. I don't have my mountain quite as planned out as the rest of it. I just sort of scribbled some lines and said, that's good enough, we'll go with it. So some of this is deciding where I want to actually put things. Probably don't want to make my mountain too black because my sky is black and I want that separation. I want it to actually be seen, otherwise I'd just do sky. Yeah, well, Premiere Pro can be easy to get confused on. I don't know how you have learned on it, but most of my learning has been self-taught and a few YouTube videos when I haven't known how to do something. I'm actually taking a YouTube class as a continuing education class at my local college, and that's on Mondays, which is why I need to figure out when I'm going to stream on Monday because it's a later class. But it's kind of cool because I've learned a few things, and so we're going over Premiere Pro right now, and we're going to cover some things of tricks and tips on uploading on YouTube once we have more content. I'm a little ahead of others because most didn't have their channel already started. So I've had a little bit more experience, but I'm still learning some neat things. Ooh, editing every stream. That sounds like a lot of work. And doesn't that take away a little bit from the spontaneous nature of a streaming? Of a stream? Oh, highlight clips, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, maybe I should do that at the end of October. Do a highlight reel of my month of Inktober's. That's a good idea. Can I steal that? So, Autumn, what are some of your favorite games to play on Twitch? Do you have a specific one, or do you play a bunch of different ones? Just caught my cat scratching at the carpet. I don't have much carpet down here in the basement, but the stairs going up are carpeted, and my cats think they're the best scratching post ever. And Athena just gave me the stink eye for daring to squirt her when she was scratching at them. Okay. Yeah, I like the starlight coming through. I don't know, I'm feeling like this is coming off as a little messy. A little messier than I would like. Oh, that's frustrating, not being able to stream one of your favorites. Okay, let's see. Clean up my lines a little bit here. I definitely have a lot better control with my crow quill pen than I do with the brush. All my teachers would say that, kept saying that you should be able to have the same amount of control with a brush as with the pen. And apparently I'm not there yet because I don't. Definitely prefer the control I can get with a pen. Like the little sharp points you can use. It's probably also why I prefer mechanical pencils to regular pencils, because they just have that nice sharp line, or point, I guess. Subnautica. What's that about? Or maybe I should tune into your Twitch and find out. Oh, I was talking about this yesterday, but Autumn, do you know that Jim Lee has his own Twitch? And he does drawings on there? I like the statement. I kept dying so much, so I got frustrated, because out of context that just sounds amazing. Okay. How many minutes are we up to? Oh, 45 minutes already? Whoops. Would like to keep my videos shorter, but apparently I don't draw very fast, so maybe I won't worry about it and just let it go as long as it goes. It all depends on if you, my viewers, are still interested. If I lose your interest by going too long, then I've messed up. Oops, I smeared a little. That's what I get for not following the rules of starting up in the left-hand corner. Drag my hand over the wet stuff. Smudge it. Whoops. Yeah, Jim Lee with a J, not a G. He's one of the big comic book artists. Probably most known for Batman and Superwoman. And I got to see him at Comic-Con this summer and watch him draw live, which was really awesome. And it's just kind of amazing to watch him draw because he's so talented and he does it so easily. Although he has a harder time at talking and drawing at the same time than I do, which is kind of funny. Yeah, you should check out his channel. It's really awesome. Someday I hope to be able to draw that easily. Just sketch it out and it's done and move on to the next thing. But I'll get there eventually, I guess. Takes time and practice. This will definitely look better once I've erased all of the pencil lines in the middle of my star. Because at the moment it's looking kind of messy and sketchy. I actually really like that feeling of when I get to the end of inking something and I erase it all and clean it all up and it just looks fantastic and it's exciting. Yeah, I think artists do have a hard time streaming. At least in my case, I've found it a little difficult. It's also been kind of fun to try. I think the hard part for me is I'm not good at just sort of talking and find myself wanting to be quiet and just focus on what I'm doing and not talking to people, which kind of defeats the purpose of a live stream. So, and I don't always know what to say, but hopefully you've found me interesting tonight. Oh, good. Thanks. Yeah, Jim Lee definitely has a hard time talking and drawing at the same time. It's kind of funny. He starts getting into something, talking about something, and he'll just sit there and talk without drawing. But I find what he has to say interesting, so that helps. Okay. Well, I might not fill in my mountain. I might leave it mostly white. Maybe if I had unlimited time, I'd spend more time doing hatch marks and shading it that way. But when I rush hatch marks, I tend to get really messy and it doesn't look as it should. So I might just darken a few of my lines here and call it good. hope you like his videos. Um, yeah. I don't know. I can, as long as I have people to talk to, I'm better at talking. So it's helped that you've had some good questions and some interesting things to say, so that I've had something to bounce off of. When I don't as much, I'm not a radio announcer who can just talk about nothing. I don't know how they do their jobs. It's rather amazing to me. They just talk and talk and talk about nothing. And they do it every day. I can maybe do it for 1 or 2 times and then I'm done. Yeah, I understand that. I'll have to check them out. I'm just amazed at people who vlog. I've considered it. I thought, oh, that would be cool. But it's just, it's just not me. I considered vlogging my Comic-Con experience this past year, but I was having too much fun to worry about it, so I didn't. Hey, I kind of like my mountain. At least the closer one. The farther one's sort of nondescript, but... I think podcasting, well, I think anything is easier if you have somebody to do it with. Like, I was listening to Ear Biscuits, Rhett and Link's podcast, and they have each other to bounce off of, which helps. It's more of a conversation than monologuing. I actually don't listen to very many podcasters. I do listen to Ear Biscuits some. I'm subscribed to Dave Ramsey, but I don't actually listen to him. I'm too busy listening to Ear Biscuits. Writing Excuses is one of my favorites. It's with Brandon Sanderson and Howard Taylor and Mary Robinette Williams? Something. And they're, and Dan Wells. And they all have a different focus in writing. Like Howard Taylor is a comic artist. And they talk about writing, and it's short. It's 15 minutes. I love their tagline, 15 minutes long because you're in a hurry and we're not that smart. And they really are that smart, though. They're amazing. I've learned a lot about writing from them. And it doesn't hurt that, Brandon Sanderson's my favorite author. And so I like listening to him talk about his craft. They should really promote me or something, because I have told so many people about their podcast. And I think I should start getting rewarded for sending them people. I've promoted them a lot, but I have a lot of respect for them. I think they're awesome, and they're entertaining. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. Just sort of adding a shadow, I guess. Did you guys hear Athena? She just walked into the room and meowed at me really loudly. She can get very petulant when I don't pay attention to her. She doesn't understand why her mom sits for hours at this desk and doesn't pet her or play with her, and tells her not to scratch on things. Life's really unfair for a kitty, isn't it? Oh, there, that helps. Ah, I like that. Okay. Do I need to add anything else to it? Fix anything? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm not fully happy with my star here. Well, I did get to meet Dan Wells last year, and that was pretty cool. If I do meet him again, I should tell him that I should be an affiliate and get paid for sending them subscribers. It's funny because I'm better at promoting other people than I am at promoting myself. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, you know, when I first started playing with bottles of ink, I just started playing. It was kind of disastrous when I first started. I didn't know what I was doing or how to use ink or why to use ink. I was at Hobby Lobby, which is a dangerous place for me to go, and I saw that they were selling ink, and I thought, ooh, that sounds like fun. So I bought myself a jar, and being the absent-minded person that I can sometimes be, I set up in my living room with my jar of ink, and you can probably see where this is going. My cat at the time, Jinx, decided to jump up on my lap and knocked the ink over. Did she knock it over or did I? I don't know. Either way, ink went tumbling onto my apartment's carpet, which was a nice, beautiful tan color. Yeah, it didn't come out again, so. But I think I stayed in that apartment long enough that he would have had to change out the carpet when I left anyway, so I didn't feel as bad as maybe I should have. So that was my first disastrous encounter with ink. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit better at self-promotion. I'm still really awkward about it. And I'll be like, hey, you should totally do this. And sort of make it almost a joke rather than an actual self-promotion. But I think I'm getting a little bit better. Yeah, it'll come with practice, I think, as well as promoting like Patreon. And I'm not as weird about having a YouTube channel now. I was really weird about it at first. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't know what I'm doing, but here, you should check it out. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I like the separation between the star and the branches of light coming out from it. I don't know if you guys have heard of discovery writers. It's those writers who start writing without an outline or anything. They just see where it takes them. They discover it. I like to think of myself as a discovery artist, which of course my teachers at AAU didn't like, but I often don't have a plan. I just sort of start and see what happens. And it's kind of fun. I do it mostly with painting than anything else. I'll plan out my drawings a little bit more, but I hate thumbnailing. So, yeah, I think that's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna sign it. Never forget to sign your art. I often do until last minute, and then I'm rushing around trying to sign things before I send them out to people. So I'm trying to get better at that. And I purposefully made my signature so that it had a lot of straight lines and I didn't have to worry about curves, because curves are really hard, especially with a paintbrush. So there it is. Day 4 of Inktober is under my belt. Yeah, I used to really like Facebook, and I'm getting less and less enchanted by it. Yeah, Kimberly Riggs has a lot of curves. Probably, yeah, definitely not as many as you have, but I straightened out a lot of them and made it more stylized so that I didn't have to do the circles. I had one teacher in high school tell me that it looked like I was writing Elvish because of the way I was writing things. Okay, I think I'm done, and I will be back tomorrow at 8:30 for day 5. So I hope to see you guys then, and thank you. I like it. I worked really hard to make it look good. Okay, I'll see you in 5 days, Autumn. Thanks for joining us. Me, something. I'll talk to you later. Bye.